All right guys, today on Exposed to the Back, we're gonna give you guys 2 basic ways to get to the back from bottom half guard. Alright guys, today we're going to be starting in a bottom half guard position, alright? Whenever I'm in a bottom half guard position, I always teach my students, I don't want to leave my leg locked up around the bottom of his leg right here, because this does attach me to him and it limits his movement, but it also limits my movement. So whenever I'm in a bottom half guard position, I always love to play a knee shield. So I put my foot on top of my other foot and I put that knee shield across his body, so as he's coming down, he's got something to deal with. It also maintains distance from him and also keeps his weight off the top of me, all right? So the second thing that I do, all right, so if my opponent is in the knee shield position, he's gonna try to own my hip space, okay? So he's gonna, a lot of times, he's gonna put his hand in this space right here. So I don't mess with that hand right now. What I wanna do is I wanna make sure he doesn't come around my knee. So I put my frame, my second frame in place, which is my elbow right here, over in front of him, so that as he starts to come around the corner, I'm able to keep that weight and keep that his frame off, or his body off of me. Okay, so when we're in this position here, this is when I'm going to go for my back take. All right, so my bottom hand, I didn't come up on my elbow because I need to use it. If I come up on my elbow, I won't be able to use it. So I'm going to take my bottom hand and I'm going to get a sleeve grip on the grip that's on my hip. All right, once I've done that, now I can remove my top frame, which is my elbow, and go to the back of his elbow right here. All right, now I'm going to do an arm drag. All right, so as I arm drag, I'm going to come up. Okay, so I'm arm dragging him to the mat and I'm keeping my hand on top of his hand so that I can come up, and I'm going to immediately reach over and I'm going to be looking for this collar grip. All right, this is the main collar grip I try to get when I'm going to the back from the bottom, okay? Because this gives me a lot of shoulder control and I can move the top of his body in the direction that I want. Now from here, I can either climb over and take the back, climbing over, placing my second hook in and going for my back attack there, or I can just drop to my side, keeping my chest attached to his back, pulling him down, and then pulling him over and setting my second hook and then going into my submission chains from there. All right, that is the #1 basic way to take the back from bottom half guard. Second half of this video, I'm going to be giving you guys 3 variations on another back take based on your opponent's reaction. All right guys, now I'm going to give you guys some variations on some back takes from bottom half guard based on my opponent's reaction. Understanding and anticipating your opponent's reaction is one of the key things to jiu-jitsu. Knowing what they're going to do when I do certain things, okay? So the bottom half guard is one of my favorite positions if I am on bottom. I don't like being on bottom, but when I am on bottom, this is one of my favorite positions to be in because I've gotten a lot of the things down that my opponents will do when I attack them from this position. All right, so one of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to try that arm drag again, okay? So when I do the arm drag, a lot of times if my opponent's strong, they're going to jerk their arm back and they're going to posture back up again, okay? So I'm going to go into my arm drag. So I'm up, I'm in the frame, I've curled up underneath them. They're worried about the deep half position here, so they've got a lot of things to worry about. I reach up here and I'm going to do my arm drag. So I get my sleeve grip here, I rip, and I do the arm drag. Now when I do that, he's strong, he rips back, I immediately I'll come underneath him and I'll get an underhook. Now when I'm getting an underhook in this position, I'm looking to get my hand up and across the shoulder as far as I possibly can. All right, this is going to prevent him from repummeling and getting underneath me. If I keep my arm low, he's going to be able to repummel and he's going to be able to put me flat back on the mat. But if I'm up high like this, when he goes to repummel, it allows me to lift my arm and just expose the back right there. Okay, so even if he doesn't repummel, I'm still going to be able to go to the back from here, right? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to come up on my hand and I'm going to raise my other hand as far as I can over my head as I do it. So I come up and I throw him down, right? And as soon as I throw him down, I'm immediately going to be looking for that collar control and that collar grip again, step over into that back take, and then I'm going to pull him over and I'm going to go right into my attack mode from there. That's variation #1. Variation #2, based on my opponent's reaction, all right? A lot of times when they're trying to own this space right here, I'll take it away from them. So I'll take my elbow, I'll put it into my hip, and I'll drive his hand out. Normally that causes them to do this. They'll grab my wrist, all right? I like to do a sneaky little wrist lock from here. It's not high percentage, but it creates the reaction that I want, all right? So when he grabs my wrist, I'll reach up there and I'll grab the back of his elbow and I'll start to pull it in. This immediately causes him to jerk his arm back, and I can do the same sequence again. I'm coming up, right? Once I've got my hand in my underhook position, I can start to shut, go to the back, take the back, pull him over, set my hook in. That's variation number 2. The third variation comes from that guy that's just gonna put all the pressure in trying to come around your knee. Okay, so when he's putting all that pressure on top of me and I have to keep my frames in place so that I don't lose the position and I don't feel like I can arm drag him because all of his weight is on top of me, I'm gonna take this gi, I'm gonna feed it into my hand right here, and I'm gonna start to threaten a choke. So if he continues to put forward pressure, he's gonna choke himself, okay? So he's, again, gonna pull back from me. When he pulls back from me, I start to come up. Now, each time I do this wrestle up, I want to threaten the wrestle up. This is allowing me to make him put his weight on top of me. So if I start to threaten the wrestle up, he has to put his weight, and I can throw him by, reach under here, and get my collar grip underneath the armpit, as close to the armpit as possible, and then I can go into my back attacks from here, throwing my second hook in, and then immediately into my submission chain, all right? That's 3 variations that you can use based on your opponent's reaction to get the back from the bottom half guard with your knee shield in. If you guys have some variations that you like, you guys comment down below. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you guys on the next one.